So I'm wondering how we created our time units that we use commonly. So we have hours and minutes, and we have days and weeks and months. I'm wondering how we got the idea to divide time into units like this. And did we decide how long the units were to be? There's so much about how we organize our lives that obviously didn't exist before, and then we got the idea somehow to divide our days into units. So we have minutes and seconds and hours and days and weeks. But it's all a bit confusing and incredible how we managed to organize ourselves so well. And we have all of our months in different time units, different days and weeks and whatever. Why isn't every month the same length? Why do some months have different lengths? I don't understand how we got these ideas and how we implemented our organization the way we do. So I'm thinking that there's clearly a time when we didn't have months and weeks and days and whatever. We didn't have hours and minutes. And then somehow we got the idea to create these units and start to organize our lives. And our months ended up as different lengths, which I find strange. I'm just surprised that we don't have months that are all equal in length. It is just strange how we got these ideas and how we implemented our organization. I'm wondering how far back in time we have to go to a time when we didn't have days and weeks and months, and we lived our life differently. And I'm wondering if the way we've created hours and minutes and seconds and days and weeks, I'm wondering if we will do new organization in time. So will we create new units of time in due course so that we organize our lives more as time goes on? So the same way we didn't have months and days and weeks and hours and minutes sometime, and then we got the idea to create these units. I'm wondering if we'll ever create new units of time. I'm not sure if it will be possible to do anything new, but it might happen. I'm not sure what would be useful to create that we don't have now. So it's just so impressive how humanity has got organized over time and created these things which are really quite impressive and so useful in how we organize our lives. And the months we have are all different lengths, and that seems strange. I would have thought that every month should be the same length to be organized. I don't know how we got the idea that months should be different lengths. It's really amazing how we organised over time. And I'm wondering how far back we would have to go before we had months in place. I was wondering how we lived our lives then, when we didn't have weeks and hours and minutes and whatever. I mean, days, I suppose, make more sense because that's quite clear and fairly easy to understand. But weeks and months and years, it was all a different thing. And it is quite impressive how we conceived of these ideas to organize ourselves. To split the year into months. And the months are all different lengths. I would have thought that every month should be the same length to be organised. I don't know how we got the idea to make months different lengths. It's really impressive. It would be good to find out how we organised ourselves before we had months in place. And I'm wondering when months were created. And who created these things? It was a man, obviously, but who was this guy? And do we have a record somewhere of who invented months and weeks and days? Days, I suppose, is more clear, or more clear rather. But weeks and months are a different matter and very impressive organisation. And hours and minutes and whatever. And seconds as well. It's very good that we got the idea to divide time into seconds and minutes and hours. I don't know how it's possible to be so organised. And I'm wondering what we did in life before we had these things in place. It would have been so difficult to live and organise our lives. And what I'm wondering is, will we create some other way of organising ourselves in time, such that we will get used to it and then wonder how we lived our lives before we had it? So we might invent some way of living that we get used to, and then they'll look at how we live now and they'll wonder how we managed to survive properly. So I'm wondering what we might create to organise our lives that we will become used to and then wonder how we live as we do now. So that means that the way we live now is probably fairly awkward compared to how we could live if we get the idea to organise ourselves better. So I think it's interesting to think about how we organise ourselves.